Welcome to the Two Dudes Talk Music YouTube channel. I am the Reverend Raff.
We did it. We made it.
Because when a band's name starts being everywhere, it can be very easy to go like, okay, like.
Just because I know what it's like to feel left out and to feel like people are weird or mean to you, and so I never want to be that person. And I want.
This here is my good friend Kyle, aka the BeerBuddy.
Big opportunity. You guys must be stoked you're on the first day too, because you can just sort of shoot. Yeah, you can just relax.
Brian was sitting down with his our longtime friend and his former bandmate Meegs from Cold Chamber, and they were having coffee, and Brian was.
When those questions go, those hearty chuckles.
You know what that laughter says to me is like, people y'all don't even know what's coming. People just are gonna be minds are gonna be blown by that.
No, it will be a fucking banger.
What's happening, everybody? I am the Reverend Raff, joined once again by my good friend Kyle, aka the BeerBuddy.
What's going on, everybody?
We're the two dudes who talk music, and we are back today with another podcast episode for you guys. As a little reminder, we do drop 6 videos each and every week. That's reactions, that's interviews, it's podcasts, it's just lots and lots of cool stuff coming out for you every single week. So if you have a good time with us today, you enjoy your time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We like trying to grow an audience of just fans of music in general, people that are always trying to find something new and exciting, and people with just real passion for music, because that's what we do over here. So, if you have fun, consider hitting that button there for us. And we do also have a Patreon. It is just a couple of bucks a month. You get everything early and ad-free. No pressure though. I understand if things are tight all across the board. But hey, it's there if you feel like slinging us a little bit extra for support there. But with that out of the way, mate, how are you doing? How's life treating you and the family?
Yeah, it's good, man. Just going through the motions at the moment, school holiday stuff. So, been that. But, just obviously after Earthbong, haven't really done much after that. So I'm looking forward to getting back out of the house hopefully next week. But, other than that, man, just living life. How about you, my friend?
Yeah, look, not too bad. Just been really busy, really fucking busy lately. Despite the long weekends, I've been doing a lot of stuff across those. Do a bit of overtime, having to, band stuff starting to happen again. So,
good.
It seems like it might be starting to happen again, which is good. That's really enjoyable. So, just doing that stuff. Working on songs. We got some T-shirts on the way. It's pre-order run only, guys, unfortunately. So missed the posts about it. Unfortunately, that's just what it is. It's pre-order only, but hopefully we'll have some Two Dudes Talk Music T-shirts out in the wild pretty soon, and we'll have our own ones too. And we can if there's still interest there, if people want them, let us know.
Who knows? We might do another run one day.
We'll see about doing another run of shirts, maybe. Mate, I saw the announcement about the heavy metal cruise.
Oh, dude.
Heavy metal cruise that's coming next year. So October 2026.
Destroy All Lines?
Yep, Destroy All Lines.
Yeah, absolute weapons, man.
Some cruise line company. They're they're bringing a heavy metal cruise to Australia. So,
that'd be one show I'd probably have floaties on the whole time. Even when you go crowd surfing, you never know when you're going to drown.
Well, you put the floaties on, so they give you a bit of a buffer in the pit for people like smashing into you, and then also help you if you go overboard. But no, look, that looks really exciting. I mean, none of the acts have been announced yet, no lineup yet, but the idea is pretty cool.
Yeah.
From what I've seen of the ones in the States, they're pretty popular and they're pretty fun. So hey, we reached out to Destroy All Lines. We'll see what happens. But hey, you never know. If you think that we should cover it, maybe go and tell Destroy All Lines. Be like, hey, y'all need to get Two Dudes Talk Music on this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Go and comment on their posts about it.
That's all I need. Open water, international water with no supervision. On a heavy metal cruise. That's a recipe for a great weekend, that is.
Well, hey, I mean, look, if we were able to make the trip out to Broken Hill happen for Metal to the Max, I think we can handle a cruise that leaves from Sydney. I think we can manage that.
Yeah, I think that's a little, I
think we can manage
doable.
That. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what comes of that. Like I said, hopefully we can get some sort of thing on there? Because I'd love to be able to do some kind of work with them for that. I think that'd be really,
Oh
really
yeah,
cool.
just
Interview the
look,
bands and
just
maybe be on the thing and
yeah,
and interview a bunch of bands and punters and document the whole experience for
yeah.
people. It would be a good old time, I think. So,
Especially for the first one, like
yeah,
we were lucky enough to be at the very first Metal to the Max, so it would be absolutely great to be on the first one of this to see how it goes.
yeah, first one of these in Australia, so that'll
Please.
be fun. But hey, look. Other than that, man, just been going on. Been playing this Oblivion remaster, getting some time in on that, which has been fun.
Yeah, I've got to. It's downloaded on the Xbox, man.
You got it there.
Is it multi? Is it multiplayer? Maybe we can jam it out together.
It's Oblivion. It's a
true.
action
It's
adventure
it's just a
RPG.
remaster. Yeah,
Just a remaster. The visual upgrades are insane. I really hope they do give Skyrim the same treatment. I would love for them to give Skyrim the same treatment.
yeah. I think at the moment, I think it's a very good idea what Microsoft are doing with some of these old games.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would like to see new games that are equally as ambitious as some of these other games used to be. But that's what it is. That's life. That's it. Sorry, it's capitalism. Sorry, it's people.
Yeah, well, it's either that or that's when you get a Cyberpunk and you get a game that's not even finished and you're waiting for the next 6 months before the whole thing's done, and then it's an absolute masterpiece.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, I guess we'll see. But no, it's been fun and really enjoyable. Same jank as back in the day, but it just looks a lot nicer. So
that's cool.
Yeah. But anyway, we are going to get to today's guest. So we have with us today, we actually got in touch with this fellow by the name of Kevin Tiah. Through he actually reached out for a submission for his film clip for our reactions. So we've got that one. It should be coming out on the channel pretty soon. I think the song releases on Monday the 5th of May, so that's when our reaction's going to be coming out for it as well.
Yeah, so get ready.
Great song, great video. Kevin is like a multi-instrumentalist, talented, plays stuff across all sorts of genres. So, yeah, look, this is going to be really, really fun. We're going to get into this one right now and have a good old chat with Kevin Tiah. Big welcome to Kevin. Thank you so much for joining us today, mate. We sincerely appreciate you taking the time out of your busy weekend.
Thanks, bud.
To have a chat with us. And thank you for sending your song through as well. We got that reaction to Code Break is going to be coming out on Monday the 5th when the song drops. So if you're listening to the podcast or you're watching this podcast episode, make sure you come back to the channel on Monday morning. But yes, thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
How you doing? How's your weekend going?
It's been good. I think as I mentioned before, I had shingles 3 weeks ago, so I was struggling for about 3 weeks to get back on my feet, and yeah, it's good to feel great again. I can sleep again. I can do things again. So I do not wish shingles upon my worst enemy in the world. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's very, very unpleasant. Very unpleasant. But glad to hear that you're back at it and you're kind of up and about again. Never nice to hear that people are sick or struggling with health stuff there. I gotta say, like I kind of said it before when you first jumped on the call, but I am loving this wall of guitars behind you. And I think I'm also really impressed of how color coordinated it is too.
Yeah, I mean you can tell red and black are my colors.
Everything's black and red. Like that's.
I've got my amps.
Oh shit! It's everywhere.
Oh wow!
It's everywhere.
That's mad.
Gunpla that's all red and black as well.
Oh, that is cool.
Bro found a theme and is sticking with it. I like that.
Red and black.
Oh, yes.
I like that.
I love it. The monitors, yes.
Everything. See, that's like, okay. I don't know if you're much of a gamer.
Yep.
So, did you ever play Soul Calibur 3?
I have.
Yeah. So, Soul Calibur 3 is my favorite PS2 game, right? My favorite Soul Calibur game. I always go back to it. I've managed to get a copy for my PS2 again, managed to track down a copy. Black and red is like my whole, every time when you make character creation in that game's amazing. My favorite in just about any fighting game, and I always just make it everything black and red the whole way through. I don't know what it is. It's just the way it functions in that game. It just
you're in black and red. I'm in black and red. Like let's just go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something about those two colors. They just fit so well together.
They do.
It's a nice bold.
It's color. It's a dark. It's a dark color. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They just sit so nicely next to each other.
It's very gothic and I
It
don't know,
is.
emo,
Yeah,
which I like.
fits it as well. So what are some of the your favorites that you got hanging up the back there?
So I've got a few. I'm actually in the process of doing renovations in my apartment at the moment, hence why I've got like sheets everywhere, and I've moved
Yeah,
some of my
yeah,
favorite
yeah.
guitars with me, so I don't have them in this room. But yeah, I've got a few custom made ones. Started collecting BC Rich guitars recently. Are you
Nice,
aware
nice.
of BC Rich?
Yes, yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a few rare ones around. Like I got that shipped from Ukraine,
Mm-hmm.
that one from Japan, that one from the US.
Damn.
Yeah,
Oh,
Hard
they're hard to find
knowledge.
nowadays. Yeah,
far out. I
Love
remember
it.
when they first sort of became a thing. Wasn't it Kerry King that really sort of
yeah.
put them on the map? And yeah, I remember the Kerry King Warlock series, and it had all the cool tribal stuff in it. And it was they were just red hot back in the day.
Yeah, and I think the company went down under a little bit, and
It
that's why a
did.
lot of the
It
guitars are sought
did.
after now.
Mm.
Yeah, well, it was like Kramer back when I was younger. Like Kramer went under, well, far out, and they've made a comeback. Kramers are back now. I didn't even know because I was having a look. I'm like, oh, I wonder if they're still worth anything, the second-hand ones, because back in the early 2000s, you could pick up a second-hand Kramer and you were still paying over $1,000 for it.
Oh yes, for sure.
And now, yeah, they're everywhere again, but they're not everywhere.
Mm. But hey, I mean, yeah, it's nice though. Like having a theme, like having a theme and having a brand is always really good because it helps for your image and presentation as well. And if you're trying to go for sponsorship stuff, that's I mean, not it's just it's cool to have a theme and a visual sort of presentation like that. It works really
Yeah.
really well.
And the only thing that's really difficult to do is find red shirts. I mean, as you can tell, I've got as close as red as it can get. Not even a red, but it's hard to find red shirts around.
Yeah.
Yeah, no man. But well, look, big thank you for sending through Code Break for us to get a little preview and to be able to do a reaction to that one ahead of it coming out. We really do appreciate that. Like the song is, I mean, I won't sort of talk too much because I don't want to spoil stuff that's in our sort of in our reaction there to it. But
Yeah, we want you to see that too.
we really were into it. Like we really dug what you were doing there. Like so many different pieces and elements from different styles brought together in something like that. And the film clip was really really cool. Great story in the film clip, and the whole sort of like cyberpunk, like matrixy sort of stuff that's come together with it. Just really really nicely done. Great piece of work. How long did all of that take to come together?
Oh, probably about a year, to be honest.
Whoa.
Because we actually filmed the band on the green screen. So like the band stuff, that's all CGI, and then everything else is just location hunting in Sydney. Like you guys know a few areas in Sydney where you've got like neon lights and all that. So we had to be quite strategic with it. Like one area was actually filmed in Burwood, Chinatown. Do you know of it?
Yep.
Been a while. Been a long time
Yeah,
since I've been through that way, but
it's a nice little area with a lot of neon lights. So we actually filmed on a Thursday night when it was a little bit more crowded because we wanted a bit of a crowd. And yeah, it was just fun, like running through the crowd and like bumping into people. But that helped with the effect as well. And we actually filmed in Wynyard Station, where the tunnel is.
Yep.
So this was at about 2:00 in the morning on Tuesday night. That was the only way we could guarantee there would not be a single person.
Yeah.
So we did that, and we filmed in Chinatown as well. There was a cool little alleyway with neon lights as well. So we brought a few neon lights of our own as well and put them up. So just try and match the visuals there.
that's cool, though, man.
That's such a good idea.
That's a lot of work going into it, but I think it pays off. I really do. Like it's a nice
100%.
in terms of like the and I always feel dirty talking about music and film clips as like a product, but you get what I mean, right? Like it's as in terms of like a product in the metaphorical sense, not the literal sense, right? Is how I tend to use it. So But yeah, it's a great piece of work, the song and the film clip. So I'm really keen for
Thank
people
you.
to see
Thanks,
that and
guys.
check that out. But I mean, looking over your channels, you kind of do a lot of like different genres and styles, kind of all over the place, right? Like you got
Yeah.
a bunch of different instruments, bunch of different styles. You very kind of spread that quite broadly.
Yep.
Yeah, is
You
that
even do like pop punk stuff and like the screamo punk stuff. It's so old school. Like probably my favorite is what's that 2005? What's it
I'll
called?
bring back 2005.
Bring Back 2005, man. Like that just hit me right here in the feels.
Yeah. I guess we're all born around. You guys from the 90s?
yeah,
Oh, I'm 80s,
86.
mid 80s, yeah,
Well, more or
86.
less, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
grew up in the 90s, so
yeah.
yeah, no, that time, like, lots of nostalgia for that, and I hate the fact that I can sit here and say that it's 20 years ago.
Oh, yes, yes. Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just it's crazy to think about how that stuff, and I'll still look at an album and be like, oh yeah, that's a new album, and nope, it's 12 years ago, or I'm like 12 years ago. Did it really come out that long ago?
I
22.
mean, to be fair, it was like 3 years that we never accounted for. So,
Yeah, that's true. And we like yeah, that weird space where nothing really new come out, and where when it did, it was a really weird space. It was the rise of the home recording artist, which is a great thing because people found a new passion for stuff, but a lot of
yeah.
bands dropped off.
Mm. So is it like, I mean, your approach to music, is it just kind of the doing a lot of different stuff, or do you really want to be focusing on one style moving forward with everything?
I think for myself, I like the idea of having every song a little bit different from the last because I, I might be a minority here, but I feel like when I listen to an album, I tend to zone out like by the sixth or seventh song if it's all in the same style. So I had this
Yep.
idea of, what if I could create an album where every song is different from the last and it encapsulates all the genres and styles that I like myself? Because I like metal, I like rock, I like pop, pop punk, and yeah, so it's
You
just
can
really
tell.
me just doing music that I enjoy in one
Okay.
place. Yeah.
It's good. Look, I think it's a great idea, especially in a world where singles and stuff like that reign king. It just diversifies you so much more. It doesn't pigeonhole you into one sort of thing. It just puts you in as an alternative artist that has a range from here, who likes to do ballads and stuff like that, to here, who likes to do extreme metal and mad techno stuff and go a bit harder. The only problem I think you're going to find is what festival do you play?
Oh yes.
You know what I mean? And I think, unfortunately, good things is right where you're going to be. But that's not the fortunate thing. But it's so cool. You speak the language of so many different genres.
Yeah. I think there's always a way around it. Like you can always have like a metal, like for example, you can have a metal adaptation of any pop song that's out there. So
Sure.
you can sort of tweak that a little bit and just fit the energy, I suppose.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, definitely. I mean, it's something that I've kind of looked at, and this is something that's just a side project, like in the background. Really, not doesn't get lots of work on it, but doing stuff with a project that combines a lot of that really just fills the space of some taking elements from rap and taking elements from metal and putting them into the same thing, but not in the way of it all being like rap metal necessarily. Like that's part of it, but some tracks are just like straight up metal tracks, and some tracks are just straight up rap tracks. And it's like, okay, if it came to doing live shows, well, some of the songs probably aren't going to really work, but most of the rap ones you can do a more metal style version of, right? You just make a beat with some
Yeah,
heavier
absolutely.
guitars and stuff in it, and boom, you can kind of bring those across for that way. Or, there's ways to modify your work to do that. And then you've also got like alternative versions of the songs that you can release if you feel the need to do that as well. You can be like, hey, this is my like this remix of the song, or this version of the song that gives you a bit more, and that way you've got people that like you for sort of one style you know, they're more interested in just one or two styles that you're playing with, can still get a lot of their fix,
Yeah.
while there's also something for everybody else. You know, which is a really thing. But like, I mean, how long have you been playing music for?
It's hard to say. I mean, since I was 12, I guess. I used to be quite active in a hardcore band, so we were playing around from I think like 2013 to about 2017 or so, and then we disbanded. So I kind of shifted from, I guess, doing hardcore to more pop, I guess, and I wanted to go back to doing a little bit of it again.
Mhm.
But I didn't have a band at the time, so I thought, you know what, I can play different instruments. I might as well do it all myself. Hence why I've released music under the solo artist name.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
like it. Do you mind telling us what that old band you were in was called?
Yeah, we were in a band called Ready for the Fall. We
Okay.
we weren't big back then, but we had a few we had a few opening acts with bands that are big now. Like, do you know the band Polaris?
Yes.
Yeah, so
very
we
much
played
so.
with Polaris when they were still more of a local band, I'd say, and then
Okay.
big. And do you remember the band Slaves?
No, I don't
From
remember
Dance
them.
Gavin Dance.
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
Whoa. Dance Gavin. I love Dance Gavin Dance.
so Johnny Craig, who's the first vocal, I think he was the last vocalist of Dance Gavin Dance. This was like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or whatever it was. He got kicked out of the band and then he started a new band called Slaves.
Okay.
And then they were touring around Australia and yeah, we were one of the opening bands for them.
Okay.
Very cool,
Legit.
very
That's
That was
very
a long time
cool.
ago. Yeah. So it was quite a different genre back then.
Yeah,
Hey.
well, I mean, Dance Gavin Dance are in this weird space of their own, aren't they?
Yeah.
When you have a look at that.
But yeah.
That's
So,
mad.
I mean, how much stuff have you released so far under the, like, as a solo artist there? Like, how many songs and how much has been
I think
dropped so
I've got
far?
15 songs so far. But I try to release a video with every song, which I guess you can imagine it takes a bit of time and it's quite
Yeah.
costly as well. I did a feature, well, more like a collab. So there's a YouTuber based in Canada called Shady Cicada or something like that. Yeah, so he's got quite a following with video game soundtracks. Like he makes a lot of video game songs and like how-to videos, how to write in specific genres. And then so we did a collab together where he did the instrumentals and I did the vocals for that song. So you'll find it online
Okay.
on YouTube. It's called The Rise. So that's one other thing I did. But apart from that, yeah, it's just been mostly solo stuff.
Because man, like, so what is it? Save the way that I made you feel.
Oh yeah.
Like when you listen to your catalog, it's such an out. It's such an you do Instagram stuff, you do metal stuff. You are so versatile. Like, how are you just sitting here talking to us and we aren't busting down our doors to try and get to you? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Thank you.
because you're a talented dude. You are a fucking talent. To do what you do on your own, you're in the nicest way possible. You're a freak of nature.
Thank you. I think the credit goes to technology nowadays. You can do a lot of things with MIDI and a lot of
But
things.
you got to know how to use it. You got to, like, at the end of the day, you just you got anyone that's a tradesman is only as good as their tools. That's bullshit. A tradesman can make something good with bare bones. And look, I don't know how you do it. But regardless, it's magic. It's fucking awesome.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
So do you I'm guessing you do a lot of your own, like, production on stuff as well, right? Like you're doing a lot of mixing and mastering, or?
No, I don't actually. I've got a bit of a home studio at home, but I don't have the skills and time to invest in learning how to do it professionally. So I do a lot of pre-production at home, and I can do vocal tracks or dry tracks from home. But I always get a professional engineer to do it for me.
Okay. Cool. So where have you sort of gone to for those sort of services?
I've been to a few different studios. Like with the pop stuff, I wanted the experience of going to Studio 301. Have you heard of Studio 301?
It sounds familiar.
I've never have.
It's like the it's like the Lamborghini of recording studios. Like they charge you an arm and a leg,
Okay.
but it's amazing. Like you walk in, it's like every studio's been rigged up, to the ceiling with $500,000 worth of gear. You get an intern for the day who will serve you coffee, can grab food for you throughout the day. It's like a hotel, really.
Oh, so they give you the full experience.
Yeah, it's a studio that
Yeah, it's worth.
Justin Bieber, Coldplay, if they're ever touring in Sydney and recording in Sydney, they would go to Studio 301.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've only done it twice. I probably wouldn't go back again. Um, Apart from that, a lot of my heavier stuff, I do it through one of my mates, who he does a lot. Do you know the band Inertia? If you've heard of them?
Hell
I've
yeah.
heard the name, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so he's the guitarist in the band. So I've done quite a few songs with him.
We're trying to get them on. I keep trying to get them on. I gave them a card of good things.
Oh yeah,
Going to get them on.
I can reach out to him. I've
Please.
officially invited him to my wedding that's coming up soon. So I'll ask him for you guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Please. That'd be fantastic. Congratulations.
Yeah, they're great guys. Yeah.
They're a great fucking band.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So obviously we've talked about, you've got Code Break coming up very, very shortly. At the time
Yep.
this is coming out, this is only going to be a few days away. Have you got more stuff planned for later in the year? Like, what's sort of the rest of this year looking like for you on that front?
I do actually. Actually, I'm filming a music video tomorrow for a new song that I'm
wow.
releasing. Again, I'm jumping again to different genres. So the song I'm doing tomorrow it's a remake of one of my original songs called Fight for You, which is the piano ballad.
Mm-hmm.
But I've done a whole song in Chinese.
Okay.
So someone sort of dared me to, why don't you release a song in the China market and see how you go? I'm like, sure, I'll give it a go. And it was probably the hardest experience I've ever been through in a studio because it's a different language, that's first of all, and it's hard to get feedback from your engineer as well because he doesn't understand the
really good
language,
point.
obviously.
Right, of course, yeah.
Oh,
That's a really good point.
so, that's a great take. It's like, no, the way I said the 我不是 doesn't sound good. I have to say it again.
Well, because there's a lot of inflection that's important with that too, right? Like you can say make the same sound, but with like it going up instead of down, and it's like a different meaning, and
Yes.
all this kind of stuff. So it's very complex in that way.
Well, funnily enough, I actually learned that when it comes to singing, that actually doesn't matter as much. Like that's it's like they focus more on the melody and the context of where the words are.
Okay, well, but that'll be helpful.
Yeah, but it's still hell of a challenge.
Oh, look,
I reckon
anything,
that's whoever gave you that, if that song takes off, shit, make him your manager. Because if they got ideas like that, who knows what they're going to pull out of their hat next?
Oh man, if you can tap into 0.001% of China, that's a few 100,000 people still.
Yeah, exactly. Huge market. I mean, why do you think movies are, turning their attention? Hollywood's turning a lot of their attention towards, having films be more successful in that market.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason. It's because there's, like the economic climate is there's starting to become much more, bit more disposable income from like the populace there, and it's just, the creative that's going to set a lot of, I think, where creative stuff's going in the next while. That sort of market, the Chinese market, the Indian market as well. Like they have huge portions of global culture.
Global population.
And obviously, like they've got they've got their own creative markets as well, obviously, that we generally aren't as exposed to, right? But I mean that's why we do our Rockin' Around the World series. We want to see what's going on in the creative spaces in these other countries, and so we kind of check all of that out. I don't think we've done a metal band from China yet, though. So.
Not yet.
There we go. Hasn't popped up just yet, but anyway, we'll see how we go there. So what is like your? Do you play much live shows? Like, how does that work for you?
Yeah.
I did before COVID. So before COVID, I wanted to get back into playing live again. So I actually picked. I think the least heavy song I had was Bring Back 2005, and everything else was more of the heavier stuff because it didn't quite fit in the venues I was trying to play at. And I just got a bunch of mates as session musos to basically jump in and give me a hand with it. And yeah, well, it was great because a lot of the mates who I got in the band as well, I mean my gig band, they were really accomplished musicians, so they actually played the songs better than I ever could, which is quite a great experience because you're like, wow, that sounds better than
That's
I
how it's
play
meant to sound.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But since
cool.
then, I haven't been playing live anymore because
Haven't
it's
really done
I
that.
would love to see it. Please keep us posted if you ever decide to play a live show. Or if
like,
you're ever looking at people to play with, yeah, we can definitely point you with people.
oh, that would be awesome.
But
Yeah.
I feel like, man, Kyle, I feel like Kevin needs to team up with Van Lucia that we had on the other
Oh,
week. Like
dude,
this place.
that'd be
this-
interesting. That'd be because you know what? He's a great recorder and producer,
This guy does
and
he does all
he's
of his
really
own
good
stuff.
instrumentalist as well.
Yeah, and he's a solo performer up there as well. So he's like playing guitar and piano at the same time on stage, and
Wow.
you know, and singing all of the stuff. And you know, I think it was a while ago he set himself a challenge to release a new song every 2 weeks. So he like knows how to pump the stuff out when he needs to, and but yeah, like super talented dude. And also he's also from Sydney
Yeah, he's from
as well.
Sydney.
So
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah,
So,
he's from Sydney.
yeah. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, like that's
Nice.
there you go. That's crazy. So I mean, what I haven't had a chance to go back and check out a lot of the other film clips and stuff, right? But like if people are, you know, trying to check your music out and get sort of an understanding of, you know, who is Kevin Tiah? Like, would you suggest like they start listening to the stuff from the beginning? Is there like a couple of songs that you recommend they should start with to get the best indication of you know what it is that you do?
I almost feel like I should start off with a questionnaire and try and figure out what kind of music they actually like, and then try
Well, I
and
mean,
pitch.
yeah,
No.
okay, that's
never
fair, I
ask
guess.
him.
when
Always
you're-
keep us guessing. Fuck that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
That's boring.
Well, what's
Because then
what
you're going
stuff
to
are
get pigeonholed
you?
into a
Okay,
genre.
let me rephrase it. Like, what songs do you think is like the best representations of your work?
I've got a song called Imperfections. I'm not sure if you heard that one yet. So
Beautiful.
I
The
think that
one that you did with the collaboration with.
no, not that. That's not the one. It's the one with the
The-
aliens and stuff.
Not the reimagined
The
with
original.
Sammy Cartwright. Not the reimagined one with Sammy Cartwright.
Yeah, so the original one, not the
Okay.
reimagined one. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's got a bit of like because I love all the heavy guitars and like the heavy band and stuff.
Mhm.
I really like hip hop and R&B singing. It's a style that I'm not very good at, but I'm trying to get better at. I like I like incorporating those two elements together in the song. I think that's unique in its own way, and that best describes the kind of sound that I like.
Well, I mean, you know, because people put like rap and metal is done together quite often, but taking those more R&B elements and putting them with like heavier music is less of a thing, right? It's less common. It's not as represented out there. So it really feels like that could be a space where, you know, you're putting out something that really does that's a bit very, very unique sound,
Oh.
right?
Oh.
Like it gives you
Ooh,
the opportunity to sort of be like maybe not the first, but like one of the first to be doing that sort of combination. So, you know,
Like a heavy metal version of like Teddy Swims or some shit. You ever heard of Teddy Swims? That'd
No,
be
no.
interesting, man. That'd be fucking interesting.
Probably
Does
start
that
out.
song I Lose Control? I lose control. I can't do it.
Yeah.
It does it real good.
There's a reason Kyle stopped singing.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, man. So, okay. So you doing a film clip. You're working on another film clip there soon, and I'm guessing that's going to be coming out at some point later this year. You know, and we kind of, I know we touched on it a little bit there, but you know, have you, like, do you want to start gigging again? with this stuff, or are you just happy doing it the way you're doing it now? Like, because I think some of this stuff would really do well live as well.
I think with the right encouragement, maybe I would, I guess. It's just a lot more work for me because I don't actually have a band. And like to find, I guess, great musicians who want to play with me, they're not really getting the credit of being in the band. It's quite challenging at the moment. So
yeah, I guess it's one of those things where, especially with like metal based stuff, it's kind of hard to, if it's not a cover band, there's not really a lot of money in a lot of the gigs, and you can't, and just saying, oh yeah, like I'll pay you to come and play the show, but like how are you getting paid then?
Money.
You're not making any money out of that, and it's I guess it's tricky.
I would love to be the guitarist in Paramore, but I wouldn't want to be a guitarist for Hayley Williams. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. No. I feel you.
Yeah.
Because you want to be a part of it. You want to be a part of it. You don't want to. It's like you're standing there with the stick going, just play the notes, monkey. Fucking get it done, and
just play it as it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't play that note that I wrote for you.
Yep.
Who knows? I mean, isn't that how the Foo Fighters started? But I mean, Dave Grohl pretty much wrote everything, and the shit became so popular, he had no choice but to get a band.
Maybe, yeah.
Like that's what it was. I mean, he never expected it to go the way it did, and he had no choice but to get a band because people were slamming him to get, like, we want to see it live. And I think that would be the best approach. I mean, hopefully, I would like to think that I can definitely see this going somewhere. I mean, I personally think it's that good.
Thank you.
But I couldn't imagine it'd be too hard to find musicians that'll be beating your door down going, yeah, I'll get a piece of this pie. I want to come play on this shit. This shit's mad.
Yeah, like I mean, look, I mean, if I was in Sydney and I'd probably be like, yo, if you ever need a bass player, you know what I mean? Like, you just need to get the right people, I think, is where it's at.
Yeah.
But so what do you like? Is music like your main thing? Do you have like a job that you're also, like a day job that you're also doing?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. What sort of work do you do in your day job, mate?
So I do a very corporate job, actually. I work for a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I help. I'm a hotel manager, basically. So that's that's long hours, 5 days a week, at 24/7 operations at times. Yeah. So that's pretty much majority of my time.
You're on call. You're on call. If a pipe bursts, you got to go and try to get.
If there's a fire alarm, or But yeah. So it's, I guess it's liberating in a way to do music as a solo artist, because I get to do music in my own timeline, and there's no pressure to release things at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
Like 100% of my budget goes to myself as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're not having to worry about it's. Well, I suppose it's benefits in some ways, double-edged sword. Benefits in some ways, and drawbacks in others, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like if you're struggling with a bit, it's not like you've got another guitarist that you can hand it to and go, here, can you play this? Or having dedicated people in that space to be able who specialize in that those elements, right? Which is which can offer a different perspective, because that's what I find. I mean, I my creative process is always far more collaborative. I tend, like, I can't do the shit solo, right? Like, I don't have the thing for it, but mine's always collaborative, where I'm like, okay, like, building on what other people have put down, or I'll come out with the seed of an idea and then they'll build on what I've done. And then it kind of, I find that for me, that's how I think my stuff works best. But I know that's not everyone. Some people find it better to work in that. Do you feel like if you were doing this with other people and having to go through the writing process with other people, that like that would be better for you, or you feel that'd be too, like, bit more of a drawback for you? Because I feel like it's tricky. A tricky space, because some people work better in just having that creative control.
Well, I'd say yes or no, and no, because I think the music network nowadays, it's just so small. Like, it's so easy to reach out to anyone in the world nowadays. And I think as long as you understand where your limitations are, Like an example would be there's a song of mine that I'm releasing this year as well. It's actually my proposal song.
Okay.
Like for the longest time, I just couldn't figure out how to write a bass line for the song because of the way the rhythm was and the beat, trying to get it to groove with the beat as well. So I reached out to this guy on Fiverr. I actually paid him like it's like $30 or $30. And he spent 2 days and he wrote like 3 different bass lines for me, and I just picked the one I liked and I used it.
Oh,
Cool.
And he was a ghostwriter, so like I didn't even have to credit him for it.
Oh,
I mean, that's
yeah, we got paid.
yeah,
got
he
his
got paid. That
$30.
was his job. Yeah.
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 So I feel like if you know where you're lacking, you can reach out to the right people and
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Like, I mean, services like Fiverr do open up the doors for that. You
Yeah.
know, like I've had a bit of a browse on there. I've seen loads of people like doing all kinds of shit. You know, like productions, and that's just it. You know, like you can get production services on there. You can get mastering services if you need a hand with someone to master your stuff or get someone to have a crack at it. Yeah, there's always people out there willing to do it. But I think at the same time that does create a bit of an air of like everyone seems to be incentivized to try and do it for the lowest price so they can get the
Yeah.
work, and
which hurts
then
the industry.
it does. I mean, ultimately it hurts the industry, and that's this is the biggest problem, right? Is like I see there's calls for like a musicians union, which I agree with in theory, but I just think in practice will not work because
Yep.
there's just too many people that are willing to play music for like at venues just to play music at venues.
Correct.
Right?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
So, if you had all of these musicians that are trying to make a career out of it going on strike, essentially going, no, we're not playing that, you would have, to use the union slang, you would have all these scabs coming in to play it for cheaper or nothing, or to cross
Yeah.
the picket lines and stuff like that.
Or it get to a stage where it'd be like you'd have a union card and you'd present your union card to the venue and they just go, no, we're not having you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a non-union venue.
Well, I have full respect for the art, and I truly
Yeah.
value what it's worth. I mean, I've got one of the venues I manage at the hotel I work at as well. I introduce live music because I love music.
Good.
And so I was very transparent with the local artist I reached out to. I said, this is how much I can spend at the moment. When business picks up, I will give you more. And that's what I did. I just gave everybody a rise, and they asked why. And it's like, well, because I think you guys deserve it.
Yeah.
I want to support local acts.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
like if having,
Good on you.
that's the right way to do it, and if having the live acts there is encouraging people to come and improving the business, at the hotel, then it's deserved. You know what I mean? Like they've like, if they're bringing more people, if more people are coming in and you're making more money off of that, or the business is making more money off of that,
Yeah.
then the reason that the business is making more money deserves to then get more money in turn. Like it's the fairest way to do it. And that's
Yeah, but from a corporate perspective, it's not quite easy to get that across the line because
oh yeah, like they don't give a
well,
shit.
DJs are cheaper, but DJs just need a computer, most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, I mean, it's, if it's and it's such a challenge because, like everyone's just trying to make it work for the most part. Like, obviously once you reach a certain level and you've got like the corporations over there, right? Like if it's a local pub that's just trying to keep things going and keep themselves from going bust, and it's like just owned and operated by like a local thing, and it's like, well, fuck, okay, that gets really rough then, right? Because it's just trying to be fair to everyone. If it's the situation where it's owned by a corporation and they're literally just out to extract as much profit from it as they can, well, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
But okay, so like, where is the best place for people to keep up with what you're doing? Like, I know you're on a few different social platforms, but what is your like main one if people want to keep tabs on what you've got going on there?
Probably YouTube.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not as active on YouTube as I should be, I'll be honest. But that's generally where all my new releases go to straight away.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, if you're doing like you know, like you said, you're doing film clips or videos of some form or fashion for everything that you're releasing, right? So like, that's a great place, great way to, obviously, best place to keep up with all those is the platform that they're going to be on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to have links. We're going to have links down in the description to everything that you've got going on there anyway. So like we said, we've got our reaction dropping on Monday for Code Break. Again, really cool song, really cool video. Make sure you go and check it out. And yeah, just go and follow Kevin on all the different platforms. Keep an eye out on what he's got coming up. I'm sure there's going to be plenty more cool shit coming through this year and into the future as well. Lots and lots of red guitars featuring in everything, of course.
And I promise you will find something that you like from Kevin. Like, it doesn't matter what you listen to, you will find something that you will enjoy. I promise.
If you listen to one or two songs and you're not really digging it, check out some of the other stuff, because like there's plenty there. There's something there for everybody. There really, really is. So, all right. Well, look, thank you very, very much for hanging out and chatting with us today, mate. We really do appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening thus far. We will have Quick Question Quarter and Get in the Bin coming up on the weekend with Kevin, so you'll want to make sure you go and check those ones out on Saturday and Sunday, respectively, when they come out. But for now, thank you very, very much for watching so far. I have been the Reverend Raff, joined by my good friend Kyle, aka the BeerBuddy, and Kevin Tiah. As I said, we will have links down there to everything Kevin's got going on. Go and check his stuff out. Super, super talented. And keep an eye out for Code Break coming out on Monday. Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much, Kevin. We really, really appreciate that.
Thanks, guys.
Peace out, everybody.
Thanks, Kev. See ya.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We really hope you had a good time. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell down there. It helps the channel grow. We are still a fairly young channel, and we like to try and grow our audience all over the world. We do also, for those of you who are interested, have a Patreon. It's just a couple of bucks a month. At the moment, you get all the videos early and ad-free, but we are working on ways to increase the value of that and make it a bit more enticing. So don't forget to keep an eye out and check back on what's going on over there. Other than that, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.